Assalamu alaikum. I am Fatima from Al-Jemila Fashion. In this series, we'll be using a cardboard to make different kiddies hijab pattern. So watch out for this style. This will be our style 4. We have already made this style, so you can check the link in the description box. So we also have this first one. We have made this first one. You can check the link to the first one in the description box also. So one pattern, many hijab styles. So let's make something beautiful. So the first thing we'll be doing is that we are going to fold our fabric into two. Make sure, don't forget to subscribe for more hijab style. So for this, we are going to fold it into two. So after folding, make sure to fold your fabric into two. So my fabric is folded into two. And for beginners, don't forget to spread your fabrics very well. So then you place your fabric pattern. You place the fabric pattern on the jab. Gently place your fabric pattern on the fabric. So the fabrics that I'm using a Chelsea fabric or a Lycra fabric, depending what you call it in your vicinity. So what we are going to do now is to trace out our pattern. So after tracing it out, make sure to put something that is bold on it to hold the fabrics. So I'm done cutting the jab. So I just want to adjust it. I don't want it to be too rough at the edge. So and that's all for the hijab part. So the next thing we are going to be doing now, so we have other simple accessories that I've cut earlier. So I have my hijab cap. So that's the hijab cap. So hijab cap is 12 inches by 4 inches in length. So you can see it. So I also have some other fabrics that I've cut earlier. So this one now, this one I'm going to be using it to pipe the bow later. So for this, I have a length 11 inches by 5 inches. So the length is 11 inches, while the width is 1.5 inches. So these ones are the bow. So if you look at the jab earlier, there's a bow. There are 3 bows there. So so I have this in 3. So the length I made use of is 7 inches by 3.5 inches. So you can cut it into whatever you like. If you want the bow to be more bigger, if you want it more smaller, it depends on your choice. So just make sure you cut 3 of that. So I also have a straight strip. This is a straight strip. So you can make sure that the wideness of it is 3 inches. So you can cut a very long strip depending on your preference. So and that's all for that. So the next thing we are going to be doing now is this. So you go to your sewing machine. You are going to stitch it there. Make sure you do the same for the other part. So once you are done stitching at the center, just bring it and notch it and bring out it. Make sure when you are making that, you do that on the wrong side, not on the right side. So we are going to do the similar thing for this. I'm going to fold this into two. After folding it into two, make sure you are folding the wrong side and stitch it. Make sure you stitch it down. After stitching, I'll come back and show you. So I'm done stitching here. So and I also brought it out and I also ironed it. So you can see it there. So what you are going to do next is that I want to take measurements. I'll be using this later. So for this, I marked 2.75. So that will be for those that does not know how to make 2.75. So you can actually mark 2.5 inches. You can mark 3 inches depending on what you want, but I actually use 2.75. So for this, so I just went ahead the remaining of the pipe, I'll be using it to make a bow. Just make sure you make a beautiful bow with that. Once I'm done making that, I'll come back and show you the finished look of my bow. So the next thing we are going to do now is for the cap. So for this, so I have two sides. I have two sides here. So for this now, what you are going to do now is that just make sure you decide which side you want the bow to be. Whether you want it to be at the right side or the left side, it all depends on you. So what I did there, I marked 3.5 inches. So I went to the lower part and I just took my measuring tape and marked 4.5 inches. So after marking, just rule it straight. So that's where you be attaching that this 2.75 inches I cut out earlier. So you give it a notch so that you won't have any differences when you are stitching them together. So that notch that's where I want it to be. So the first thing you're going to do is that make sure you are placing it right side facing right side. You stitch on that side first. You stitch it here. So when you are done stitching, you shift it a little bit, bring it inward to the other side and stitch it there. So once you are done, I'll go ahead and do it. Once I'm done, I'm going to show you the outcome. And also, don't forget to notch the center of our hijab cap. We'll be using that later. So also make sure you notch the center of the main hijab as well. So notch it. It is very important you notch it. So once I am done, I've made my bow tie, my bow. You can see how beautiful it is. I've not even finished the hijab. It is already looking beautiful. So what you are going to do next is this. So we are going to attach our cap. Make sure you fix the hijab cap to the hijab. So but what I wanted to do here, I wanted to show you what I wanted to do here first. So but before then, what I did here was that make sure your hijab is on the right side. So for the hijab cap, make sure it's also on the right side facing right side. Then you stitch the hijab cap to the hijab. Once I'm done doing it, I'm going to come back and show you. So here I've already joined them together. So what I'm going to do next is that I'll just join the side. So after joining it, I'll show you the finished look with that. So the next thing we are going to do here is that use your thread. Use it to tie up the bow there. So once I'm done doing it, I'm going to come back and show you. So I'm done stitching and this is how it looks like. So what we are actually making is that I wanted to use this to make a bow. So that space that we created earlier is where the bow is going to be standing. So you can see it. We are not done, but the hijab is looking beautiful. So that will be for the first bow. So later on, we are going to fix our other bows. But before then, we are going to work on the pleats first. So I'm going to go now. I'm going to show you how we are going to gather our pleats. So make sure now gather the pleats. So after gathering the pleats, you can then attach the hijab to the pleat. So depending on how you like it, is it that you gather it first or you gather and stitch it on your sewing machine. So what I actually did was that I first of all gathered mine. So after gathering it, I stitch it before placing my hijab on it. I think that works best. It makes it more beautiful and it makes it perfect. So that's an extra tip for beginners. So the next thing, just place your hijab. Make sure you are facing right side when you are placing the hijab. So I'll go ahead and pleat it and show you the finished look. So I am done pleating. I have formed the pleat here and it came out very nice. I really love it. So you can see it is looking beautiful. The hijab is looking beautiful and we are not done with the hijab yet. So the next thing we are going to do now is that we are going to decide where we want our bow tie to be. So for the first bow, like I said earlier, that is where the first bow is going to be. So don't forget to subscribe for more hijab styles. So if you are also interested in the PDF pattern, you can DM me directly or send me a message. So we have the PDF pattern available. So the next thing we are going to do now, so I have this pattern, this stone pattern. It is a ready-made stone pattern. So I want to determine the length. So just place it on top of it where it ends, just cut it out. So once I'm done, I'm going to place it on the heat presser later. or you can use an iron depending on what you have. So I actually made use of iron. So I later placed it on the heat presser, and the hijab came out very lovely. So the next thing we are going to do now is to determine where we want to fix our bow. So the next thing is now we are going to determine where we want our bow to be. So you can see it, that's me. I'm placing the bow there. So I'm trying to adjust it. I want to see how it will look. I want it to be in a perfect position. So after I discovered what I wanted to do, so what I did was that I just took my measurements. So what I had there, I had 1.5 inches for the first bow. So and for the second bow, I think I used 2.5. So I used 2.5. I later went ahead to use 2.5. You can use 2 inches or 2.5 depending on how you want it. So for the pattern, this ready-made stone, for this I went ahead to cut it into two. So if you can get this stone, it is. So I just went ahead to cut the stone into pieces. I counted 4 steps because it is in steps. I counted four steps. 1, 2, 3, 4. So I cut them into four steps. You can see me cutting it there. So once we are done, we are going to use it to redesign the hijab. So you can see it. I'm trying to recreate it now. So for the stone, so we are going to use it to design the hijab. So that's me using it to design our beautiful hijab. So once I am done designing it, I'm going to take it to my heat press, so that stone, it's originally it has a gum at the beneath it. So you don't really actually need to extra gum, but if you want an extra gum, you can actually use an extra gum. So that's how it will look like. That's how I'll be placing it on my heat press. So for the bow tie, don't forget to use your needle and thread to tack it. You can also use your glue to glue it. Well, I used both. I actually used the glue first, then I also use needle and thread to tack it, because if you don't use needle and thread to tack your bow, it will later fall off. By the time you want to wash it, once you wash it 2 or 3 times, that gum will finally come out. So I'll show you the final look of my hijab, and this is the final look of my hijab. The hijab is looking beautiful. So don't forget to subscribe for more stuff.